recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zahkia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan. I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, I am here with Nikki Bates. Hello, Nikki.
Hey, Jonathan.
Nikki, did you expect to be privy to Zakia's skincare routine this morning?
She is always glowing. She radiates from the inside out.
Oh, thank you.
Frankly, I can't argue with it, honestly. It's pretty cool. Guys, we have 2 awesome guests today. We're going to have a great time. First up, Meg Walsh is with us. Hello, Meg.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello. And Arjun Sivakumar is with us. Hello, Arjun.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hello. I want to get to know each of you guys a little bit better. Meg, we're going to start with you. I want you to tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm Meg Walsh. I am from New Hampshire, but I'm a Jersey girl through and through. I'm a high school science teacher. And something fun about myself, my mom surprised my husband and I on our wedding day with baby llamas dressed as brides and grooms.
Oh my God. Living llamas?
Oh, living llamas.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
It was adorable.
Oh my God. Now, were you outside?
Yeah, we got married at a Smutty Nose Brewery, so.
Did you say Smutty Nose Brewery?
Yes.
Good on you, Smutty Nose.
It's the name of an island off the coast of New Hampshire, and it's it was like the craft brewery of New Hampshire.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Oh, now what kind of science do you teach in high school?
Pretty much everything but physics. I do earth science, physical science, chemistry, marine studies. I've taught a little bit of biology, even though that's what my degree is in.
Okay. Usually, we try not to pair the two sciencey people together, but apparently we have no choice this time.
Oops. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you're a sciencey person. What's your job title?
Oh, okay. Data science.
She's a literal scientist.
Okay.
I tease. Meg, it is great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Arjun, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm Arjun Sivakumar. I'm from Orange County, California. I'm a trial attorney. I do trials and arbitrations. And I have a 2.5-year-old. And, recently, so the kids these days, I feel like one of the bigger milestones in growing up is when you finally. So she's been trying to say Alexa for about, to the Alexa for quite some time. And recently, in the last few months, she's actually gotten to the point where she says it well enough that the Alexa turns blue and she says it. So I think that's a pretty big deal.
I love that. Did you ever think about changing the name of Alexa to anything else of the different options?
No, I haven't actually changed it, but I did figure out that you can say Simon Says and make it repeat anything that it says after you say that. So she loves that as well. You can basically make Alexa say anything.
People who are listening to this right now in their house, you're setting off their Alexas.
Oh, I know, right? It's like, hey, Siri, subscribe to Trivial Warfare. Just in case it works.
Could be a brilliant marketing ploy. Yep.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, so Sarah's daughter is named Alexis. So they avoided using Alexa as the name of their thing because it would, anytime they would talk to her, it would be like, yes, what can I do for you? And so there's like 4 different options. And one of them is a shout out to Quantum Leap. You can get Alexa to respond to Ziggy.
I love it.
And so we call our guy Ziggy.
Do you have to hit it like occasionally when it's not working?
It's like, Ziggy, give me some results here. Arjun, it is absolutely great to have you. We are super excited for today's game. We're going to get this thing started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
All right, Nikki.
I am the host today, and your Warm It Up round comes to us from Brian Barris Harris. And he sent in name the superhero or villain from the nickname they are given. So, for example...
Oh, no.
Lots of excitement over this one. So, for example, if I said The Dark Knight, you would say...
Batman.
Correct. See, you guys are going to do great on this. So thank you. Thank you, Brian, for sending this in. And Zahkia, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Your nicknames are The Living Legend of World War II, The Star-Spangled Avenger, and Featherhead.
Are these 3 the same person?
It's all the same dude.
Yes, they are.
Okay. All right. Because I have a guess. I am not a Marvel gal, but thanks, Brian. I am going to say Captain America.
And you are correct. Nice work.
So for Featherhead, you don't ever, I mean, it's not exactly a nickname, but his costume in the comics has 2 little winged feathers that come out of his cap. And so he literally has feathers on his head in the comics.
Got it.
Arjun, you are next, and your nicknames are The Jade Giantess and The Glorious Green Glamazon.
Like She-Hulk? Or something like that.
She-Hulk is correct.
Yeah.
You guys are so hesitant, and you're doing great. You're 2 for 2 so far. All right, Jonathan.
Yo.
Knucklehead, Berserker,
Wolverine.
And Runt. And you are correct. That is Wolverine.
He's Canadian.
Megan, your nicknames are Goldilocks and God of Thunder.
Thor?
Correct. Zahkia, the Wall Crawler.
The Wall Crawler. Oh, is it Spider-Man?
Correct.
Hey!
Also the Web Slinger.
I'm just reading out what Brian sent me. So maybe the Web Slinger would have been a giveaway, but you got it anyway. So nice work. Arjun, your nicknames are Green Goliath and Old Jade Jaws.
The Hulk?
Correct.
You got the same person had She-Hulk and Hulk? Nikki.
I guess.
Come on.
What?
What
All right,
do you mean,
Jonathan.
what? You give him She-Hulk and Hulk.
Jonathan, you better watch it with those comments because you won't like me when I'm angry.
Oh.
That was just a little Hulk humor. I'm not actually mad. All right. Jonathan, your nickname is Emerald Archer.
Probably the Green Arrow.
Correct. Megan, you get The Man Without Fear, Hornhead, and the Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
It's in my brain. I can see it. I think he's red, but I'm not sure.
Think Ben Affleck.
Oh, Daredevil. I was okay. No.
Boom!
I was like,
Daredevil, nice work. All right, we have gone 2 rounds, and no one has missed one yet. So let's see if we can keep that going. Zahkia, this is a long one. He's got a lot of nicknames. The Clown Prince of Crime, the Thin White Duke of Death, the Harlequin of Hate, the Mountebank of Menace. Am I saying that word right? I don't know. The Murderous Mountebank again, the Lord of Laughs, the Jester of Genocide, and the Ace of Knaves.
I think this is fitting because this person's in 3,000 movies too. This is Joker.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Someone enlighten me because I've never encountered Mountebank before. What is that?
How's it spelled?
Mount, like Mount whatever, EBANK.
Mountebank.
A person
Well,
who
I'm glad I'm
deceives
not alone in
others,
this.
especially in order to trick them out of their money. I've never heard that word.
No, me neither.
Con man. All right. Well, now we've all learned something. Arjun, you are up next. Nickname is Stretcho.
Or stretch.
It's just Stretcho.
Like Elastic Man.
It rhymes with
Mr.
elastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic is correct.
What's funny is with that clue, you still could have gone either way because Plastic Man also rhymes with fantastic and elastic.
Jonathan, you get Marksman Extraordinaire.
Nobody has ever called him that, but we're going to say that was Hawkeye.
That is correct, and I just called him that.
You know what? I can't argue with that kind of logic.
Megan, your nickname is Shellhead.
Aquaman?
You know what? I think that's a better fit, but it is not Aquaman.
I ruined the
Does
perfect
anyone
game,
else
guys.
know this?
Shellhead?
Shellhead. I definitely know it. I'm not thinking of it at the moment. It's Iron Man. Iron Man?
It is Iron Man.
Yeah, it refers to the helmet. He's in a shell. Yeah.
Fine, I guess.
I feel like that could be the Juggernaut, and his looks more like a shell to me. Zahkia, your nicknames are One Eye and Slim.
One Eye and Slim. Who has one eye?
It's a very prescient question.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Cyclops from X-Men, but he doesn't have one eye. He just has like a zoom situation going on. But you know what? That's all I got. So I'm doing Cyclops from X-Men.
Cyclops is correct.
What? Okay.
I mean, his name is Cyclops. I think that's probably a giveaway.
So it's not just a clever name.
But he doesn't have one eye. He just has like
he has a visor. But his visor is one eye.
In case Brian ever wants to reuse this game, I'm going to add on to this that Cyclops' other nickname is...
What?
That's the sound I made for his visor.
Oh.
She goes, he doesn't have one eye. He just has a...
Yeah.
Arjun, you are up next, and your nicknames are the Prince of Puzzles, the Count of Conundrums, the Duke of Dilemmas, and the Wizard of Quiz.
That be the Riddler?
Correct. These are...
It's also
I want to be
kind
the
of
Wizard
Nick.
of Quiz.
Yeah, we got. It sounded a lot like names Nick would give himself for marketing purposes.
Well, that's how you can introduce him next time he's on. Jonathan, you're up next, and the only nickname listed here is Wild Man of Borneo.
Wild Man of Borneo.
And I'll give you a hint. I have never heard of this superhero.
I've definitely... Can I make
Or it
multiple
could be a villain.
guesses?
Sure. Let's warm it up. It's
Great.
for no points. I'll allow it.
My first guess will be Craven. No, okay. Wild Man of Borneo. Who would be described as a wild man?
Who's from Borneo?
Yeah, right? I don't know this one. Wild Man of Borneo. I don't know.
The name is Cable. I don't know if that's a hero or a villain. Are you guys familiar with
Cable's
Cable?
a hero. I can tell you a lot about Cable. His nickname is not Wild Man from Borneo. I mean, maybe somebody has called him that once, but he's not from Borneo. It's a
What's
really
he
weird.
from?
He's the future child of Scott Summers and Jean Grey. He was born in the future and came back to the past, and he's the guy with the star in his eye, and he always carries a big gun. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the nickname though.
Wild Man of Borneo. So there you go. Megan, you're up next, and your nicknames are The Regenerating Degenerate and Merch with a Mouth.
Oh my God. I have no
Did
idea.
you say merch with a mouth?
I did. That's what
Merc.
it says on my list.
It's
You're
Merc
right,
with
it
a
is.
mouth. It's
You
short
know
for
what?
mercenary.
Yeah, I have heard that, and I bet you that was an autocorrect thing that happened. But I should have
I
caught
bet
that.
you're right.
Mercenary with a mouth. Oh my God. What was
Merc
the
with a
first
mouth.
one again?
The regenerating degenerate and merc with a mouth.
Regenerating degenerate.
He recently
That
did
is
a movie
embarrassing. I should have caught that.
He recently had a movie with Wolverine in it.
Oh, then Deadpool.
There you go.
Correct.
Oh my God. Can't take me anywhere.
He sells a lot of merch.
Yeah.
Zahkia, you're up next. Caped Crusader and World's Greatest Detective.
Oh, Caped Crusader is gives me one thing. I don't know if I've heard of World's Greatest Detective. Caped Crusader makes me think Superman. World's Greatest Detective makes me think of Sherlock Holmes. It's not even like us. Like Jonathan is shaking. No. You're doing bad. Okay. Who else has a cape? Who is caping out here for mysteries?
Third nickname, The Dark Knight.
Oh no. Batman, is he a detective or really?
Yeah.
Okay, Caped Crusader for sure. I get it. Cape and he's on his own personal crusade, but detective? Vigilante justice. No, there's like a prison in Gotham.
I mean, you can trust me or not. Nikki's waiting for you to answer.
Yes, Batman.
It is Batman.
So, Zahkia, Batman started on a comic line called Detective Comics. His whole thing was being a detective, and Detective Comics is where DC gets its name from, DC Comics.
Oh.
So
I would like to extend an apology to Drew Buxbaum, who I know is a big Batman person. Please don't vote me off the island.
yeah, but you can stand in solidarity with Jane Carmichael for her anti-Batman stance.
I mean, I'm not anti-Batman. It just I do not know. I do not know him.
By the way, since we're in the middle here, apparently Cable introduced himself as Wild Man of Borneo, like at the very beginning of his run, like the first time he ever appeared or something. And that's so there's also a movie called The Wild Man of Borneo. That was a stretch.
Does that have to do with him, or it's just a completely separate movie?
It's from 1941.
Ah, okay.
So definitely nothing to do with him.
All right.
No, there's so little connection between that nickname and that character. It's just one line.
Whoops. Well, all right. Arjun, your nicknames are the Big Blue Boy Scout, the Last Son of Krypton, and the Man of Steel.
That's Superman.
That is Superman. One of the most well-known ones, I would argue. Jonathan, your nickname is Ragin' Cajun.
Gambit.
Correct. That is Gambit from X-Men. And our last one goes to Megan, and your nickname is Master of Fear.
Did you say beer or fear?
No, I am the Master of Beer. This is the Master of Fear. Fear as in like fright.
Oh my God. I don't know. Everyone's scared of Thanos. Let's go with that.
It is not Thanos. It's actually, I'll give you a second chance here. It is a Batman villain.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be the case.
Oh man, I'm not too well versed in the Batman. I'm better with the Marvel.
I think it's a Batman villain. Am I screwing
Does
this
it
up?
have Does it have a synonym for fear in its name?
Yeah. No, it does not have a synonym for. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it does.
I was
Okay.
Googling while I was answering you. Yes, it does have a synonym
for fear. It was played by Cillian
fear.
Murphy in
Correct.
Batman Returns. That's the second one, the second Chris Nolan movie.
Like I said, I'm bad at this. I'm going to pass. I'm not going to get there.
Help her out.
This is Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
It is Scarecrow.
I could have said that he used to do a TV show with Mrs. King. I should have done that. No, the Scarecrow and
Friends
Mrs.
with
King.
Dorothy.
Yeah.
Dang, I'll do that one.
No.
Dang.
I know Cillian Murphy though. So
Oh, is it
I like
pronounced
to call him
Killian?
the.
like
Oh, is it?
yeah, Cillian. Cillian is like me. I'm a Cillian, but Cillian.
I think of like cilia on a cell. You know.
100%.
I've heard Chilean too, but
Really?
Ooh, that'd be
know.
good for a nickname.
Chilean.
He's chilling, and he plays the Scarecrow. He's Chilean.
almost like Chilean Murphy. If he wasn't Irish, he's from Chile.
If he was a sea bass.
He's I like to call him the merch of fear. Well, that is your warm it up round. So thank you to Brian Barris Harris for sending that in. Loved it.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
This is, it looks like episode number 534. We're going to have a great show, but we are on the main feed. So to everybody who's listening today, hello. Thank you for listening. We are glad you are here. There's a lot more Trivial Warfare if you're ever interested. If you've listened to everything, you've listened to it twice. You don't have to listen to it a third time, even though that's great. You can go to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you'll unlock over 200 episodes of some of our best content. So I mean, I'm going to recommend it. I think we did great stuff. You should listen to it. Go to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up today, and get access to all that good stuff. Episode 534, it's going to be Zahkia and Meg versus Arjun and Jonathan. Nikki is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
First of all, shout out to everyone who sent in questions. I posted a call for help, a call for questions on the Trivial Warfare Army page. If you are not a follower of that page, you should join. And shout out to everyone.
Trivial Warfare Army group. You should be going to the Trivial Warfare Army group because that's where you can really interact. If you're on the page, you can't interact with the other people.
Well, the group sent me a bunch of questions, so I appreciate it. And if you don't hear your question on this episode, you will likely hear them on a future one. So another reason to become a member and get access to those members-only ones.
Look at how Nikki is better than Nick Zahkia. Nick just like goes out and says, AI, hey, give me some questions. Zakia's like, people, I need people. Can I have some questions?
Nikki.
Good job, Nikki.
I mean, equally lazy, I would say, but I love getting questions from other people. I think it makes for a more well-rounded show. And Nick took a lot of heat for the AI, but I kind of like seeing how it's progressed. So that was fun.
The questions were very good.
Yeah.
They really were.
All right, well, let's get into the game. Round 1, question 1. Your category is business.
Business.
Money, 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 money.
The Federal Trade Commission, the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, and the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States are closely monitoring which recently bankrupt company due to the sensitive nature of their customers' information. The company paid a hefty settlement for a data breach affecting nearly 7 million users, which contributed to its financial woes. And that will be pasted in the chat.
Nikki, we're locked in.
Okay.
So, Arjun, I was just typing Trade Commission's one thing, but the House Committee on Energy and Commerce and the Committee on Foreign Investment. So it sounds like it's going to be an energy company, right?
Yeah.
It's like an oil
I think that's
company.
right, or energy related.
I'm not the kind of person who's paying attention to the headlines. So current events, I'm not going to know off the top. The only way we can get there for me is to figure it out. What about you?
Right. Yeah, same. I've been looking at the news, but again, with the 2-year-old, there's only so much time to read the news. Sensitive nature of the customer's information. Yeah, so it's got to be something security related.
Like an energy, like an oil company doesn't have sensitive information from you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like this is probably something that we'll all kind of know or use regularly. That's probably why they have all of our information. Million users, so it seems like it's either an app or a software of some kind.
Sensitive nature of their customers' information.
Yeah, is there like a dating website that went bankrupt recently. I think it's 23andMe, actually. I think I heard that. Or one of those, like, genetic related
okay,
things.
Yeah, there's 23andMe, and then there's, what's the other one? There's two of those, right?
Is that Ancestry or something?
One of them bought the other, I feel like.
Yeah, I want to say something is ringing a bell, maybe that I saw something about 23andMe going bankrupt.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Like there's a desire for people to pull their, I could go with that. I like the sound of it.
1 minute.
Yeah, should we?
Yeah, let's say 23andMe, dude. I like your answer.
All right, we'll lock in with that.
Arjun and Jonathan locked in with 23andMe. Megan and Zahkia, you looked very pained listening to their conversation.
Yeah, I knew this cold because I've been following this story about this company's demise for a while. They've had a big data breach, and they've been sued a couple times, and they lost their CEO. I think she retired, then died, or maybe her sister died, one of the Wojcicki sisters. But this is 23andMe. And Meg, would you like to share her conversation? Probably the parts that you can share, because there were some swear words.
Yeah, we were hoping you guys were going to stick with energy or Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden, Arjun, you had to go and do that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good, how did you get there, Arjun? Because we weren't there at all.
Yeah, I was just focusing on that user thing and then the sensitive information, and then I think I did see that article about whenever that was, like 6 months ago or whatever, and just went out of my head, but it came back. So
that was great. That was well done.
Was it? I haven't said the answer yet.
I trust in all of the four of us.
As you should, because you are all correct. It is 23andMe. Nice work.
Woo!
Yeah.
Round 1, question 2, and your category is animals.
Animals.
Which animal is named for a container because of its unique ability to seal its hinged plastron? Please be specific.
I hate it when my hinged plastron is loose. All right, I think we're going to lock in.
Ladies, you can talk it out.
Oh, boy.
So Meg and I have been going back and forth, and our first thought was box turtle because, box is a container, and that's cute. And then Meg, what were you talking about, sealing them underground in the winter?
So I follow this family on TikTok that has 2 turtles, and I think they're box turtles, and they basically bury them in their garden for the winter. And then they unbury them. And I think their names are Squirtle and Blastoise. But because of course.
Yeah.
But they unearth them every spring. And I'm wondering if they actually seal their shells. And I'm trying to remember if the parts of the shell, I know the top parts are called scoots, but I don't know what the bottom is called.
Yeah. It is a hinged plastron, and I don't know what that is at all. So
sounds like a superpower.
It sounds like a character from Thundar the Barbarian.
That's the Tron. Tron is very 80s. Anything with a Tron at the end. But so we talked a little bit about scallops and clams and mussels because those have a hinge. And while case clam sounds really adorable, it sounds also like something I made up. So, I'm really going back to the container thing. And
we are coming up on time.
Do you just want to do box turtle? Because yeah?
Yeah, just send it.
All right. Lock it in, box turtle.
The ladies are locked in with box turtle. Gentlemen, what did you land on?
So we started with box jellyfish and box shrimp potentially, and we thought about maybe the jellyfish may not have a hinge, and shrimp. Jonathan mentioned he was visualizing shrimp boxing, which would probably be a pretty funny thing to see.
I just pasted something in the chat.
A shrimp boxer would totally lose to the pistol shrimp.
A box shrimp.
Yeah.
This is a good logo, by the way, that ChatGPT just created.
Oh,
that's got minor league baseball team written all over it.
Yes.
That's better than our logo, and we're the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
not too happy with those answers, but luckily Jonathan did mention box turtle, and that did ring a bell for me as well. And I think that a turtle seems likely it may have some kind of hinge on it, maybe relating to its shell or its neck or something like that. So
I have had a box turtle, and I don't know if this is the hinged plastron, but they absolutely have a part of the bottom of their shell that can flip up and kind of lock into place.
That sounds like a hinge.
Yeah, it looks like a hinge.
Well, both teams locked in with box turtle. You mentioned the hinge on the bottom, Jonathan. And Megan, you said, I know what the top is called, but I'm not sure what the bottom is called. That's a plastron. You are both correct. It is box turtle.
Hey, nice.
Meg, I've heard the same thing. You know, you watched a show that showed it. I heard the same thing about burying turtles on a different podcast I listened to. And they were like, this can't be true. This can't be true, right? I don't think any of us realize that apparently turtles can hibernate.
Yep.
Yeah, this was completely unknown. And I do worry that they're not supposed to, and maybe they're just starving slowly under the ground until they wake up.
No, I think they actually bury themselves. Like, this is...
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do this out in the wild.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
All right, we will move on to question 3 of the first round. In April 2025, who became the first female to be honored with a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in the sports entertainment category? She was portrayed by Emma Stone in a 2017 film.
Yeah. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure, we're going to lock it in.
All right, Arjun and Jonathan, talk it out.
Sports entertainment typically equals wrestling. That's where that term comes from. First female with a Hollywood Walk of Fame star from sports entertainment. And Emma Stone has a very particular look, right? 2017 is around the time she was doing La La Land, and there were some wrestling movies. There was The Wrestler, with the really hard movie to watch with what's his name in it, but that was all fictional characters. There weren't any real ones in there.
That's right.
Know about the movie
Foxcatcher, but that was actual wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know the movie. It's likely to be an older, like an early-ish person. And in terms of early-ish people, Miss Elizabeth is one of the first, like, recognized women that people knew her name. But she was never a wrestler. She's not going to get a Walk of Fame star. This is going to be somebody who probably had crossover appeal, right? Like, they did wrestling, but they did more. I don't know. I don't know who they're looking for.
So I wonder what the time period of this person probably would have been, like 2000s.
That's what I'm wondering too. So from a time period perspective, in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, you have Sable, you had China, then you had Trish Stratus and Lita, you had Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler. These are all people that were popular and known, and like Sable, I think, did a Playboy crossover, and maybe Tori Wilson did too, or something like that. None of the names I just gave you seem to stand out beyond the other ones that I just gave you. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, they're all in a mix. There was a movie, Fighting with My Family, about a wrestler named Paige, but this isn't that, I don't think.
And I'm going to have to press you guys for an answer in the next 15 seconds.
I guess...
Yeah, just go with any of whatever you think is the most famous female wrestler.
Great. I guess we're going to go with Trish Stratus.
Arjun and Jonathan locking in with Trish Stratus. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys put down for your answer?
Hey, Meg, can we kiki a little bit about the image of Emma Stone as a wrestler for a second?
Yeah, that didn't fit for me either.
No, absolutely sent me to the stratosphere. Like, I was dying.
I don't think Meg and I were going to get this just by like sports entertainment, but we both had a little back information about the movie that came out in 2017.
Yeah, Zahkia was like, it's Billie Jean King. And right at the exact same time, we both go, yeah, I'm pretty sure Emma Stone played her in the Battle of the Sexes movie. It was a complete jinx, and we did it. Like,
Yeah, so sports entertainment, like that's she's a commentator, and that was a big show it's like the wrestling of tennis, maybe. So,
I mean, I'll wait for Nikki to say what's right and wrong before I comment.
Okay.
So we've got Billie Jean King and Trish Stratus. Now, I know we had a little confusion about the sports entertainment category. That is a category put forth by the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I did put the category as a little hint. I don't think anyone caught it, but sports royalty. And the answer is Billie Jean King.
So does the Walk of Fame, do they have a sports category?
They have so I'm looking at sports entertainment right now.
Because tennis is a sport, and everything to do with tennis is a sport, which is why we absolutely, like Arjun literally said, well, what about Billie Jean King? I'm like, that would be sports.
I knew I was going to get this earful after watching your chat, but let me give you some.
Well, I'm not giving you an earful. I'm just asking about it.
Billie Jean King is really big in women's sports in general, like promoting and all that kind of stuff. So
exactly. Sports.
So this is a very new category, and the others who have been inducted into it are Carl Weathers and Michael Strahan. So I think maybe like for doing commentating and stuff too, or being portrayed.
That's full crossover. That's Strahan for doing TV stuff and Weathers for doing like Apollo Creed sports movies.
Right. So
yeah, I can't argue. I'm not arguing about it. It's obvious that they gave it a category. I'm just saying that they made a bad decision to call tennis sports entertainment. She's fully sports.
I was warned of
reality.
This when I had it play tested. I was warned that, that may lead them toward wrestling. So I did try to help you out with the category, but it was not enough. I apologize.
I'm under the impression that sports entertainment as a term was literally created from wrestling because they were not allowed to call themselves sports. And so it is a huge immediate flag that the word sports entertainment equals wrestling. So it was misleading, but it's not your misleading. It's them creating a category
the Hollywood Walk of Fame
means something else. Yeah. I'm sorry, Arjun. Right. I poo-pooed your answer incorrectly, apparently.
Yeah, no worries. No, I thought the same thing. Yeah. For entertainment, it's got to be wrestling. And then
Well, that's only round one, so we got plenty of time. Round two, question one. Your category is M in geography. M in geography.
Okay.
What country's coat of arms includes 2 tigers, a hibiscus, and the Penang Bridge?
All right, we're locked in.
Megan and Zahkia?
Guess we swept them out a little bit too long, Meg.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, we were just like, oh, yeah, we know. And yeah, like Malaysia.
You knew and you weren't locking in because you wanted us to have to type?
Yeah, we're just like, well, we knew. Like, it makes the question seem harder than it actually is. Like, you're thinking that we're thinking, and we're just literally talking about food orders.
We definitely were not thinking about you guys.
Meg, do you want to talk about why we were talking about food?
Yeah, we said Malaysia, and the reason I went straight for that is legitimately yesterday saw that there's a pop-up food truck near me that's doing Malaysian food, and it's Penang curry was on the menu, and I was like, oh, here we are.
Hey, that's awesome.
I was like, yes.
Down the road, there's a place called Tep Tim, and they make a really nice Penang curry. And we might, I don't know, it's kind of far, but yeah, it made me think of that Penang curry and how I haven't had it in a while. But the tigers, hibiscus, it's all giving Malaysia. Yep. So we're like, oh, yeah, let's sweat them out. And then you guys locked in. So Malaysia.
Yeah.
Okay. Arjun and Jonathan?
Yeah, similar train of thought here where, we thought of some African countries, but that didn't really seem to fit the Penang Bridge part, even if there might be tigers and hibiscus there. And we associated all of these things more with Southeast Asia, and Myanmar was a possibility, but ultimately, Malaysia fit everything all together. And so if you would have locked in, you could have heard us have this fascinating conversation about all these countries that start with M and maybe talk ourselves out of the right answer, but we went with Malaysia.
I was going down the African route, and then he brought up tigers. I'm like, oh yeah, there's no tigers in Africa. What am I doing? This is not the right continent.
Well, you guys took different routes, but you both got there. The answer is Malaysia.
Awesome.
Question 2 in round 2. Your category is potent potables.
By the way, okay, so I want to remind everybody that when she gives a category, there's a couple of seconds in between when she gives it and starts reading. And one of the things that a lot of people tend to do is just kind of guess, like, that category? Oh, I bet the answer is this. Well, now you have one chance per game as a team to actually pre-guess a question. So, like, if Nikki said potent potables, and I'm like, I know Nikki loves Campari, I'm going to pre-guess Campari, right? If you basically say, wait, Nikki, I got to pre-guess, and you type it in your chat so she can see. That's called Sherlocking an answer in, and if you get it right on the pre-guess, it's worth 5 points. You can still get the question wrong if you change your answer and get it wrong. And if you get the answer right, you can still get your 10 points for getting it right. But if you pre-guess correctly, 5 points once per game.
Nikki, do you like Campari?
I don't think I've ever had Campari, to my knowledge, but maybe?
You got to hang out with Aaron.
Would anyone, just my own curiosity, would you, if I said M in geography again, would you have picked Malaysia? There's so many M places, and I didn't even say country
right to Mali.
in the category.
I don't think I would have picked Malaysia.
Well, then no missed points there. You guys made the smart move. Okay, here is your next question in Potent Potables. What is the most consumed alcoholic spirit in the world? Its Chinese nickname means fire water, and its English name sounds like a marshy body of water. Ooh, not a lot of chat on this one, but I'm going to ask you both to settle on an answer and lock in as soon as you can.
Arjun, it's one of those two that we're going to answer. I'll let you pick.
We're going to lock, right, Meg?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's go with whiskey. That we went through a lot of different spirits and a lot of different types of swamp.
Right? Like marshy bodies of water, a bog, a swamp, a marsh, an estuary. I mean, we're going through that, and then we're like, okay, rum, gin, vodka, whiskey, tequila. None of these sound like each other. Where's the answer?
The best we could do is whiskey. I mean, there are peaty scotches, I guess, which peat is sort of like swamp adjacent, and for some reason, fire water that seemed to ring a bell for both of us with whiskey. Jonathan also mentioned vodka, so it could be that too, but we ultimately went with whiskey.
Locked in with whiskey. Megan and Zahkia, what did you settle on?
We were naming lots of different things and lots of good typos in there.
What is a boy swamp? Is it a bog swamp?
Yeah, I was trying to name different, bodies of marshy places, and bog swamp became boy swamp, and oh my God. But yeah, in the end, I guess we're feeling tropical because we went with rum.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of a detour because I was trying to figure out what rice grows all over the world. Is there a spirit that's distilled from rice? And I'm like, vinegar, but who's drinking vinegar like that? That is wow. So yeah, good Tropicando and with rum.
The reason that I was in the end, I'm like, I think I might go vodka. It was a toss up for us, but vodka to me, you have the benefit of Russians drinking it like water. I mean, they have vodka all the time, and so that's a big boost to a usage. But there's no real connection anywhere,
Well, I will start out by saying no one got it right, so this is some points to the great state of Nebraska. The marshy body of water I was looking for was a bayou, because this is Baijiu. I had to get this in the game. This is the most consumed alcoholic spirit in the world, and
wow.
I'd never heard of it. So let me post some flavor in the chat.
Yeah, let's learn about this.
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard of it until about a month ago. And then, of course, right after I heard it, it came up again like a week later. And I'm like, this is going to become a thing in the United States. I think you're going to start hearing this more. After you hear it on this podcast, you're going to start noticing it. Baiju.
It says 10.8 billion liters sold in 2018, which is more than whiskey, vodka, gin, rum, and tequila combined.
That's insane, right?
That's insane.
That's insane. We have whole giant warehouse stores dedicated to those drinks.
Guys, considering the amount of Tito's I drink, like, that's insane.
So it says with 1.2 billion 9-liter cases consumed in 2018, mostly in China, it's 3 times the global consumption of vodka. Yeah, this is a Chinese drink.
So if you've never heard of this before, it's Baiju is the English spelling of Baiju. So now you know.
How about it? That's very cool.
All right.
Round 2, question 3. Your category is Nikki calmly states a hit.
Terrible at song lyrics, but I'm excited for this.
Yeah, same here.
Any Sherlocks? It could be any hit. You don't know.
Yeah, no thanks.
All right, I'd like you to name the title of this 1995 song. I wish that I was like Tori Spelling, with a car like hers and a dad like hers, and I would show them how it was done. That'd be fun. For a bonus point, name the 1995 movie soundtrack on which it appears. Name the title of this 1995 song. I wish that I was like Tori Spelling, with a car like hers and a dad like hers, and I would show them how it was done. That'd be fun. And again, that appears on a 1995 movie soundtrack. I'll give you a bonus point if you can also tell me that movie.
I got meow meows.
Whoa!
Meow! That is.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Don't say it.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I got excited.
You're welcome to say it out loud.
Put it in your chat and make sure you're agreed to lock in, and then we'll start talking. Okay, so we can talk. Arjun, what's the answer?
So I don't know. We were both thinking Clueless for the movie timing, and I know like Kids in America is like the intro to that, but isn't that like I think that's a slightly older song, and it's
I'm
also
not familiar with the song Kids in America at all. I don't know that song.
It's the title song that goes like looking out a dirty old window, something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. Can you sing it for us, Zahkia?
Something like a dirty old window. Da 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 da.
It doesn't sound like that's it.
See, I don't think that's it. I think that's like probably an 80s song.
This is definitely a song from 1991 to 1995, somewhere in there, because that's where somebody would know where Tori Spelling, who she was.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's analyze this a little bit. I wish that I was like Tori Spelling. The singer is probably female. Okay, so we're looking for female, either singer or band. With a car like hers and a dad like hers, it's a young female singing, probably. I would show them how it was done. That would be fun. That'd be fun. This is the era of ska. This is the era of things like Sixpence None the Richer, Aqua, and the Cardigans. You know, there was this whole mellow rock female-led bands thing going on. Maybe somebody like Garbage. Even though, actually, maybe something like Garbage, that's not impossible. Shirley Manson.
Yeah, I know she sang the James Bond song for The World Is Not Enough, but I don't think that was like around that time, but I highly doubt these lyrics were the James
I don't think it was
Bond
around that
song.
time. I think it was, I think that was later for sure.
Yeah.
What about Hole? Courtney Love. This could be Courtney Love. She could say something
I like that. Like
what was her? What
like
was
Celebrity
their big
Skin,
hit?
like Celebrity Skin, or
Yeah, was that the name of the song or the album?
I think that was the song. So
Doll
it does have a
Parts. Doll Parts. That's the name of their song, isn't it? Celebrity Skin. I feel like it's the
Or is
album.
that the album? Is that the album?
I think it is. I think the song is Doll Parts from them.
Then I'm not sure we're gonna get the bonus, but
I think
Celebrity
Clueless,
Skin.
I think Clueless is the answer that we're going to give for the bonus for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we can still stick with that.
Yeah, I really think Celebrity Skin is the name of Hole's album. And I can hear her saying, doll parts, and I hate Hole. I did not like their music, but I feel like that's the name of the song.
All right. Yeah, I'm good to go with that then.
Okay, we'll guess Doll Parts and Clueless.
Okay, Doll Parts and Clueless, and Megan and Zahkia. Megan had this right away, very excited with Meow Meows. Tell me about it.
So Clueless is one of my comfort movies, and I watch it probably once a month. It's such a good movie, and the soundtrack is bomb.com. And it has been like a mainstay for 30 years in my life at this point.
Aww.
And like, I just was like, I know this. And then I was like, if for some reason that would be fun, got me to I Want to Be a Supermodel by Jill Sobule. And I think unfortunately she recently passed away. Yeah. And that it just got me right there.
So what was the song name that you said?
I Want to Be a Supermodel.
I want to be a supermodel. Yeah, because I'm young and hip and so beautiful. Speaking of Noxzema commercials and
yeah, right.
Taking you right back to the 90s. Okay, so I'm going to need some guidance here and maybe a ruling from the crowd here. I'm inclined to give you credit because the actual title of the song is just Supermodel, and it is by Jill Sobule.
That's fine. She knows.
And also, Zahkia and Megan were singing via text, like all of the lyrics to the song in their chat. So they know what song we're talking about here.
I am 100% fine with them having credit for that. That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the rule is if you give more lyrics, but they're correct lyrics, it counts. That's usually the trivia rule. So.
All right. Well, Supermodel by Jill Sobule is the correct answer, and that appeared on the Clueless soundtrack.
All right, good job. That's a good get.
And you are correct. A little flavor about that one. And the reason that I wrote the question is because Jill Sobule did die May 1st, 2025, age 66. And that song, so here's, I won't give you any points for it, Megan, but can you tell me the point in the movie? What's happening when that song is playing?
I can, if you...
Go. No, you got it. Go.
It's the makeover montage with Brittany Murphy. They're like washing the red Kool-Aid out of her hair.
This is exactly what it is. It's Ty's makeover. Oh my gosh. You guys are all over it. I love it. Okay. You guys both have bonus points, which means at the end of round 2, Megan and Zahkia lead with 52 to Arjun and Jonathan's 32.
Time for the comeback.
Round 3, question 1. Your category is American history.
History.
This short-lived mid-19th century American political party, known for its anti-immigrant and anti-Catholic stance, earned its nickname because members often claimed ignorance when asked about their secretive activities, an attitude that might have suited Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes.
I have meow meows on this.
Meow, meow, meow. We're locked in.
Oh, okay. So we could 3, 2, 1, but
oh yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Nikki, count us down.
I barely got that question posted, you guys. You were on it. Here you go. In 3, 2, 1.
The nothing.
Appreciate the imitation there. It is the Know Nothing Party, and clearly, you guys know something. You know all about it.
Could also be the party of Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I actually considered that, but then I went Sergeant Schultz because I'm old. Question 2, your category is literature.
Literature.
Which musician's upcoming memoir, it is due before December 2025, is appropriately titled The Girl with the Most Cake? And I will post that in the chat.
Yes, let's lock.
Cool.
Okay, they're locked in, Arjun, and Zakia's hiding. It's weird.
It's the mini game. We're playing hide and seek.
Okay, so there's 3 definitions of cake that I have, one of which I hope is not what Nikki's asking about. Another is actual cake, and another is money.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so money, if we're going the money route, I guess it could be the most, whoever's the wealthiest right now. I know Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, they're both, I think, probably billionaires. Rihanna, I think is like a billionaire also, actually.
I
from
don't
her.
think so. Taylor, it was a big deal when Taylor Swift became a billionaire a couple of years ago. I don't think anybody else is there from a music perspective.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, Rihanna has her, I know her makeup line or whatever.
Yeah. But the thing is that the girl with the most cake sounds like the opposite of a Taylor Swift title for something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's Swift. I feel like we would have heard more about this if it was Swift.
Maybe it's somebody like a Nicki Minaj, somebody who is trying to put themselves out there as being rich and famous and whatnot.
Yeah, could be. And then I guess so. The other angle was actual cake. Was there any song? I feel like there was a song maybe about cake that I can't quite.
Yeah, maybe there is.
Pop song.
There's a band called Cake. There's a song called Cake on the Ocean or Cake by the Ocean. That
Yeah, Cake by the
feel
Ocean
related.
Was our cake cutting song at our wedding.
But that was also that was a song about sex, which is the other definition of cake that
that's
could have been. So this could be a really promiscuous singer, which
this is
leads you to
true.
Nelly Furtado if you want to be literal, but I don't think I would want to be literal.
So yeah, and then December 2025. That's the other question. I don't know if that's a clue of some kind or if it's just a
It's
fact.
somebody who's been around long enough to write a memoir.
Memoir. Yeah. I guess it could also be in somebody older like Madonna or something, but
appropriately titled. Why would it be appropriate?
Yeah, that's right. The girl with the most.
There's got to be a direct tie-in between cake and the answer. Gwen Stefani, cakes on makeup.
Yeah, cake or baking, something to do with baking.
Yeah, but it's definitely a musician.
Yeah, it's a musician. No, I just meant like if there's a song or something that has to do with that. Girl with the most cake.
I mean, from an age perspective, you would think that it would be somebody was making music in the 90s or 2000s, the early 2000s, just because they're writing a memoir now.
We've got 1 minute.
Maybe like a Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Britney Spears?
Britney, yeah. That just came to me when you said Aguilera.
That seems like the kind of title that she would give something.
Yeah, I think that could work. What's the cake tie-in?
Cocaine, perhaps.
Zakia's face.
I mean, we don't have a tie-in.
Cake, yellow cake. That's like a nuclear materials.
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody is. That's the other thing I could think of. Cake.
Out of who we named that would be writing memoirs, I think Britney Spears feels the best.
Yeah, and she's been obviously in the news, and she just got out of her conservatorship or whatever. So maybe before that, she wasn't allowed to write.
Yeah, that's a good reason for her to write something now.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right, let's go. I think we're out of time anyway, so let's go with Britney Spears.
Locking in with Britney Spears and Megan and Zakia. What did you guys lock in with?
I don't know if you can see how my palms are literally sweating.
No.
Like,
I can tell you right now, if you are a listener of this podcast and you knew the answer to this, have you been screaming the entire time? Because Jonathan's about to find out why.
Oh, okay. Great.
So
tell him your answer.
So I knew right away from the title that it's Courtney Love's memoir because that is literally a lyric from Doll Parts.
You're kidding, right?
I want to be the girl with the most cake.
I just said I don't like Hole. I don't know the song.
You specifically referenced Doll Parts when you were talking. And I was like, oh, Jonathan is ruining my game. He's given spoilers and he doesn't even know.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
You guys are obviously correct. That is Courtney Love. And the title of her memoir is a lyric taken from their 1994 hit, Doll Parts.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Palms sweaty, mom's spaghetti.
Knees weak.
Knees weak. And you got to Gwen Stefani and don't go with contemporaries, rivalries, just.
I was never gonna get it, guys. Not a chance.
Yeah.
I thought since you had just talked about that song that like maybe it would be lingering in your brain and it was going to get you there. But oh man, I
was stretching real hard to just get the right song title from her. I didn't have any knowledge past that.
I was trying so hard just a few minutes ago to keep a straight face. You're like, oh, I hate Hole and Courtney Love and that dull parts. I was like, oh my God, shut up. All right, let's move on to question 3. And your category is historic places. Any Sherlocks? Just putting it out there?
No, not enough information in the category to Sherlock that.
Okay, trying to make you guys bold. All right, here's your question. Microsoft has signed a 20-year agreement to purchase electricity to offset power demand from its AI data centers in the Mid-Atlantic region. The electricity will be powered by what notorious facility?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, we'll lock in.
I mentioned 3 Mile Island, and Jonathan said he was thinking the same thing for Mid-Atlantic and power. And I'm wearing a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion shirt here, so it would probably be embarrassing if it was 3 Mile Island and I didn't get it, but neither of us could really think of anything else. So should we just go with 3 Mile Island? What do you think, Jonathan?
I mean, I think so. You have Chernobyl is infamous. You have the Fukushima in Japan. That obviously was a problem not long ago. I'm trying to think of any other like nuclear power locations that are known for being problematic. And if we're talking Eastern Seaboard, I can't think of anything other than 3 Mile Island. So I'm on board with it.
Yeah. All right. We'll go with that.
Okay. Locked and ladies.
I do recognize this story, and I think it came after I read this book, There Are No Accidents, that talks about the nuclear accidents in Fukushima and 3 Mile Island, and how 3 Mile Island they blame it on a human error, but it's actually a process error. Microsoft, I think, is purchasing from 3 Mile Island. So we went with that.
And both teams locking in with 3 Mile Island. Both teams are correct. I just posted a little flavor in the chat. They're going to restart Unit 1, which is separate but adjacent to Unit 2. And Unit 2 is the one that had the partial meltdown in 1979. The plant is located on the Susquehanna River.
So
Seems safe.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so like, are we testing the radiation levels? Is there radiation in that river? I wouldn't want to drink that river's water. What are we doing here?
So for reference, in that book, they talk about the Fukushima meltdown and how like the soil in Tokyo, which is not even close to where that has radiation. So we relate to 3 Mile Island, that the soil not just in Pennsylvania, but the whole entire region has higher radiation levels, and it has for years. So you let me know if you think that's safe.
I believe the electricity is to help cool all of the servers that are helping with AI. So, Jonathan, it's time to stop generating boxing shrimp.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that they're using electricity to do their cooling.
I mean, like to power the cooling mechanisms. Anyway, I don't know all the details, but it sounds like Zahkia, you know a lot more about this than I do. But yes.
Yeah, I work in data. I read books about civil engineering. I have opinions, but that's for another day.
Both answers correct. 3 Mile Island is the correct answer, which means at the end of round 3, your scores, Megan and Zahkia still lead with 82, Arjun and Jonathan with 52.
Oh no, we fell further behind. Come on, Arjun, we gotta shape
we gotta
up.
Do this. I will say the guys versus girls dynamic of this game has not served us well in the first half. All these clueless and celebrity skin hole questions.
We've been blessed with doll parts.
Yeah, it's good though.
You guys have more cake at this point in the game.
Significantly more cake.
Catch up.
By the ocean? Like 3 Mile Island? Okay, let's stop.
Your midpoint, our midpoint, comes to us from Rob Warman.
Oh, Rob Warman.
I can't do that like yodel thing like you guys do. I want to be able to do it. It's cool.
My brother can't roll his R's, and we're half Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he can't. He's like, "Arr." I'm like, come on, it's all right, dude.
I do have a trick that I'll post it in the spoiler thread, like how to help people roll their R's a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that the way that I do the Rob Warman thing is just by imitating kind of like a horse imitation, like
Mr. Ed.
I can't do that.
Oh.
Shake my. This is going off the rails. Rob
Terrible horse girl. I'm
Warman.
so sorry. Okay. All right. Rob Warman. Thanks.
Rob Warman says, imagine yourself in a produce market with signs from around the world, but
what was
no
the category?
signs. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you. It's international foodstuffs.
Okay. Gotcha.
So here's that question again. Imagine yourself in a produce market with signs from around the world, but no signs from the USA. Give the American names for the following fruits or vegetables.
Okay.
Rocket to the Brits. Pamplemousse to the French. Rock melon to an Australian. Kumara to a New Zealander. And ladyfinger to an Indian. I will post all of those in the chat, and I will tell you there are no duplicates. So you're not getting like different words for the same fruit or vegetable. These are 5 distinct pieces of produce or types of produce. Make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nikki, did you specifically qualify these as fruits?
No, these are produce, so fruits or vegetables.
Fruits or vegetables, okay.
You guys have about 1 minute left.
Our answer is locked in.
Arjun, so the rocket thing, right? I agree. I feel like there is some kind of like rocket lettuce or spinach or some kind of green, but I don't know which one at all.
And unfortunately, you're going to have to decide on one fairly quickly.
Yeah. What do you think about kale?
Sure. We're going to say kale, grapefruit, cantaloupe, kiwi, and okra.
Okay. And ladies, what did you lock in with?
I was pretty sure that rocket is arugula because we're growing some right now. So we said arugula. Pamplemousse is grapefruit. Check out your LaCroix because it's always pamplemousse. Rock melon, we said cantaloupe. Kumara, we said kiwi. And ladyfinger, we weren't sure. Like Meg mentioned that sometimes ginger or turmeric can look like old ladyfingers. So we said turmeric, but I like okra. I like that a lot.
Okay, well, here are your answers, and I'm just going to read down the list. Rocket to the Brits is arugula here.
Arjun, I was literally typing it before we started talking, and I never hit paste.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Pamplemousse to the French is grapefruit, so both teams got that one right. Rock melon to an Australian. Both teams said cantaloupe. Both teams are correct.
Wow, that was a guess. I was trying to get Arjun to go with coconut for a little bit because that's even more rocky than a cantaloupe.
I'd never heard this one, and I'm impressed. You guys both got it. That was a good poll. Kumara to a New Zealander. Both teams locked in with kiwi, and both teams are mistaken. It is a sweet potato.
Oh.
Okay.
And then ladyfinger to an Indian is, in fact, okra. So Arjun and Jonathan got that one correct. So that means both teams got 3 answers correct on that one, which means your score after the midpoint, Megan and Zahkia have 94, and Arjun and Jonathan have 64.
All right. It's a good game so far, guys.
All right, we'll get started with round 4. Question 1 comes to us from Rob Warman. Zahkia, can you thank him for us?
Rob.
Oh, you sounded like a ghost, like like I can't even do what you just did.
It's like if I were a banshee, I guess. I'm sorry.
You were like a dolphin saying it. Or, you want to try again?
Rob. Oh, no.
That's all right. It's a good try. It's a good try.
Thank you to King of the Sea, Rob Warman. And your category is, oh no, is my ox okay?
Ooh,
Can you spell ox?
You know what? I will paste the category for you.
Okay. Oh, so for the listeners, ox is OX.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's enough time. If you're going to Sherlock, it should be no more than 10 seconds.
I see 3 bubbles. I'm just trying to see if she wants to.
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
All right. Okay. Category, oh no, is my ox okay? And Rob asks, the current list of legal U.S. tournament Scrabble words includes 107 two-letter words. Among these are 3 two-letter words without a vowel and without a Y. Name any one of these unusual two-letter words.
I'm so glad we weren't going to Sherlock this. This is not the direction I thought that was going in.
No, absolutely not.
I was going to ask, and I saw her eyes moving. I'm like, no, yeah, she's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to encourage both teams to reread the question carefully.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of a sneaky hint. I just thought there was something that someone was missing. So I just wanted to make sure you guys saw it. There's no sneaky clue that I'm aware of. 1 minute remaining. And I'm going to prompt both teams to lock in. We are at time.
All right. So we're going to lock in with that.
Okay.
We had our conversation, and both of us neither one of us knew it off the top, right? And I led us down a path where it felt like it might start with Q, because there are words that don't require a U after Q that are very popular for people to study in Scrabble. And I felt like, and I've looked them up before, and I felt like perhaps there was a Q in there. And we went back and forth. We talked about abbreviations that have turned into words, maybe like JK, or Arjun, you suggested XY, like the chromosome. I was like, maybe. And then I got really excited because, like, oh, what if it's QS? Just the plural of Q. Qs. That's perfect. Man, this is it. This has to be it. And Arjun's like, that's cool. Why would the other letters plurals not also be like B's and C's and D's? And I had to laugh and say, that's a good question. I don't have a good response, but we ran out of time. So we're saying Q's. QS.
QS. Locking in with Q's. Maybe stand for questions, like the good Q's that Rob sent it in. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys lock in with?
I was gonna queue up the solid logic that you threw in about what these 2-letter words could be.
Yeah, I first and foremost, I thought, because I was thinking ox, like I had the X in my brain, and I was thinking the abbreviation MX, the gender neutral Mr. or Ms. And I was like, well, maybe. And then we kind of started going down that we didn't think Scrabble was that progressive. We ended up saying, we were like, all right, Mr., Ms. And then we ended up settling on Dr. DR.
So we've got DR and QS. Now, Megan and Zahkia, I want to direct you to your chat. And what was your response when Zahkia said DR?
I said, yeah, oh no. Is HM one of them? Is HM one of them?
Both teams have locked in with incorrect answers. But HM is one of the answers.
Arjun started.
I probably said that too.
No, you said which had a vowel.
Yeah. And then not spelled the same way, but does Crash Test Dummies lead you to any other answers? We've got HM, MM, and what does this gesture tell you? I'm putting my finger over my lips. SH is the final one. Are your answers.
We all know that sh is SHH plus as many H's as you want. And is at least HMM.
Right.
And is absolutely 3 M's.
Yeah.
They be tripping.
Well, I'm going to direct you to Sowpods, the Scrabble dictionary, because they list HM, MM, and SH. So that is 5 points to the great state of Nebraska.
Yeah, Zahkia, you backed me up on that. I saw your reactions were, those are all 3-letter words.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The crash test dummies add on even more M's. It's like 4, right?
I think it's 333, but Bob.
With dots and
Bop is 3.
Bop is 3.
Yeah.
Okay. With 18 M's.
Now, we got to get to the next question.
Okay.
Question 2, also from Rob Warman. Your category is animals.
Thank you, Rob.
Ossicones are found in only 2 non-extinct animals. Name either one.
Okay.
Now, he wrote this as bonus point if you can name both, but I think I can only do 1 bonus point per game, or is it per round?
Per round.
Okay, then bonus point if you can name both.
Cool.
I only host the game. Am I supposed to know how it works?
All right, we're going to lock in.
Locked. Megan and Zahkia, you can talk it out.
We wanted to see the spelling.
I'm sorry, I didn't post that in the chat, but I will do so now.
Ossicones. Ossicones. All right. Are 2 non-extinct animals. Name either one. Trying to think of breaking down the word phonetically, and I don't know what the roots are, but something about Aussie makes me think like fossil, like
it's
old.
Rock. It's giving rock to me.
Like ossified. Yeah. Something's ossified. Yeah. It's stone. So what is an animal that has something stony in it?
Let's see. Ossicones and cones. I keep thinking like cones.
Okay, so ossicone makes me think of like maybe hair. I don't know why, but like a stone hair. Is Medusa? Is the answer Gorgon? I don't think so.
I'm also thinking for some reason I'm thinking stalks, like a snail has little stalk eyes.
Big fan of Medusa's cheese, Gorgonzola.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, like a cave-age cheddar, like rocks?
Because it can't be a shell.
Well, I mean, corals make their own skeleton.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
So, like maybe like coral and starfish?
No.
Are they... Or echinoderms. I'm under the sea.
Under the sea.
Yeah, our echinoderms are like our spiny guys. So but there's so many of them. Like,
they're not necessarily. Maybe go back. Like mussels. Are they?
Those are bivalves.
Are attached to stones. See, Jonathan doing a mussel.
They have a hinged. They have a hinged plastron. Plastron.
I like ossicone. I like coral for that, but I can't think of anything that's
what else? Yeah, what else like builds its own skeleton? Sponges. No, they're not really. It's not really a skeleton.
It's an exoskeleton. Right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe ossicone has the ability to like petrify. I don't know what it is. So
you guys have about 30 seconds remaining.
Like I don't mind sponge and coral.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Yeah, sponge and coral.
Locking in with sponge and coral. Arjun and Jonathan?
Arjun, you had a strong line into this.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen somewhere relatively recently that I believe ossicones are like the kind of skin-covered horns on a giraffe, and I think there's like very few animals that have like skin-covered horns. But I think it's giraffe, and then for the bonus, since an okapi is similar to a giraffe, we both said okapi, so we went with giraffe and okapi.
And Arjun and Jonathan are correct. The two answers are giraffe and okapi. Megan and Zahkia, for not knowing what ossicones were, you were darn close. Ossi actually is bone, not stone. So those are horns that are covered with fur, unlike all other mammals' horns that are made of exposed bone and or keratin. But yeah, your logic is right. Giraffe has ossicones, and okapi is a very close relative of the giraffe. So got both those right and made up a little ground there.
You guys must have been freaking out, though, when I was going stalks.
Yeah, no. Stalk, yeah. When you said stalks, I was like, oh no, how much time is left?
Would you believe this is the second time this week an okapi has haunted me?
I mean, you have a young boy. Okapis abound for the first 10 years of a child's life.
So my son is into viruses right now, but okapi came up, and Dana and I went to pub trivia, and it was a question: what animal is just like a giraffe but not? And we're like, oh, what is that called? It's an ibex. No, it's not an ibex because that's like a goat, but that's we could only think of. And then it was like okapi, and now okapi. Rude.
Haunted by the okapi.
Yeah, yes. I should have okapied your answer.
Okapi paste.
Exactly.
Let's move on to question 3 of round 4. And your category is comics. This again is from Rob Warman. It's comics.
Thank you, Rob. A Rob Warman round. Awesome.
Yep. Historically, the comic book publishing world has been dominated by 2 companies, DC and Marvel. What does DC stand for?
I mean, you got to throw it out, right?
Yeah, because
because
I know it now.
I think you got to throw it out, Nikki. Do you have a backup?
I think the title of this game has to be Jonathan Spoils the Game, because that is 2 separate answers where I was like, Jonathan, what? And to be fair, Rob Warman sent this in. That was not who the Warm It Up round from.
No.
The Warm It Up round. That was from Brian. So these were completely separate, but you said that, and I was like, shut up.
Well, any time that you Warm It Up, Chris, overlaps with any question you have, it's a big risk, because you literally asked a question about Batman with a nickname of the world's greatest detective, and the Detective Comics is directly related. We're going to talk about it.
Point taken. Round 4, question 3. Your category is food, drink, and art.
Art. Food, drink, and art. Okay. All right. Cool.
Originating in Belgium as a farmhouse ale to be consumed by farm laborers during the hot months, what type of beer is almost a homophone for the French painter responsible for the basket of apples and the large bathers?
Yeah. Let's look.
Yeah.
All right, they're locked in. Arjun, before she finished the question, I was going to suggest Hefeweizen or Summer Shandy, right? Neither of those sounds like an artist.
Shandy, I think, is lemonade. Yeah, I think that has lemonade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
No, and it doesn't have to. Shandy doesn't have to have lemonade. It's just served with a lemon, I think.
What are Belgian beers? So I know that, is it Monet? I mean, Monet, I know, did some still lifes, and Manet.
Stella Artois is a Belgian beer. I think, I can't think of another one.
Yeah, I guess are they looking for, it seems like they're probably looking for the type of beer rather than the
I think so too. I don't think they're looking for a brand. So like a lager or an ale.
What's the Belgian beer you have in like a small quantity of in like a fancy glass? Can't think of the name.
I don't know either.
Like Chimay is like one of them, I think.
Not Belgian, it's Netherlands. I don't know the small beer in a tiny glass.
Chimay. I mean, Chimay is like one of them, I think.
But I think that it wouldn't be something fancy. if it's made for
Yeah,
farm
that's true.
workers.
Yeah, that's true. Wheat beer.
Wheat beer. There's a word for, is that Hefeweizen? Is that what a Hefeweizen is?
That's Hefeweizen. But Hefeweizen, yeah, is that German or I don't know? It sounds more
I don't know.
German to me.
A French painter, the basket of apples, and the large bathers. Bathers, there is a painting of bathers that I can't remember who did, but a French name.
Yeah.
Almost a homophone.
Monet.
It's
Renoir.
Manet. Renoir is Dutch, isn't he?
I think Renoir is French, but
No, he might be French. I'm thinking of Rembrandt. Sorry.
could be.
What kind of beer is a Blue Moon? I feel like it's called a Belgian wheat beer.
Wheat beer. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think it's wheat.
Wow, I don't know. I can't believe our time's not up either. We're very struggling this whole time.
I was fixing the spreadsheet and putting in another question I was backfilling. But so I started the timer a little late. But yeah, if you guys could come to an answer pretty soon here, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it too.
Yeah, seriously, we're struggling here.
I don't care if it's correct or not. I just want you to settle on something.
It might just be like a common type of beer. I don't know. I mean, just go with like lager or something.
Sure. We'll say lager.
Locking in with lager, Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys come up with?
I almost had meow meows, but then I was like, oh no, wait, hold on.
No, and you were like, you're like, wait, meow meow, wait, no, and then like, no, you're right.
Yes,
Meg, you have smutty nose beer brewery experience.
That's right.
Meg, you have smutty nose.
So this is actually my favorite style of beer. And I was like, oh, farmhouse ale. Yeah, absolutely. It just hit me right to Saison, which then I was like, oh no. And then Zakia's like, no, wait. And I was like, oh, Saison, the painter. with a C.
Yeah. I just went to the DIA a couple weeks ago, and there is a Saison, the bathers there. And there's another Saison bathers in Philadelphia. Yay!
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Haven't been to that art museum in a while. But
yeah, you came up against a couple of the beer girlies here. So
I have never heard of that style of beer. I literally I'm unaware of it.
Really?
Really?
Saison? Saison?
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it.
Oh.
It's a good one for the summer.
It's awesome. Yeah,
it kind of tastes
one.
like it's herby, it's like funky, it's light, it's refreshing, it's delicious.
Yeah, go do some farm labor and then cool off with a Saison.
The first two words you said, herby and funky, don't typically pair with delicious at the end.
I know, but like beer funk. Like if you've ever had like kind of like a funky beer, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it. I don't know. I think it's funky because funky is like, I think of like IPAs. It's not like that.
Like roll Bootsy Collins around in a field of basil. That's funky and herby.
I always kind of joke. I'm like, it tastes like almost like hay in not in a good way. Like I don't like a horse
outdoors.
blanket.
Outdoors. Yes. There you go. Outdoorsy.
Well, you guys came to the correct conclusion because the correct answers are Saison and Saison.
Good
it's
job.
Saison for the beer. So after round 4, your scores are Megan and Zahkia still leading with 104, Arjun and Jonathan with 76.
Woo.
Round 5. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just woofing.
Round 5, question 1 comes to us from Rob Warman, and your category is British stars.
Thank you, Rob.
Question is, who is the stop-motion ungulate, originally a Wallace and Gromit character, who has starred in 190 episodes of his own television program as well as 2 feature films?
Yeah.
Category is British stars.
Our answer is locked in.
Yeah, no, Arjun, I wouldn't think it's Rudolph. Rudolph was an American creation.
yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Ungulate is like going to be hooved, so like deer, horse.
Are you familiar with the Wallace and Gromit style?
I know. Yeah, I can picture it, but not.
Okay, it looks like Chicken Run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a claymation vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And 190 episodes, almost certainly a kid's show.
Yeah.
a hooved animal, but not Peppa Pig because it does say his.
Yeah, it's not Peppa Pig. It's not
a cow or a horse or a camel or a donkey.
Yeah, it's not Mr. Ed. I think that's a real horse.
Mm-hmm. 2 feature films. It's not Paddington. Paddington is not an ungulate. It's not Pokey from Gumby and Pokey.
Not a terrible answer if we don't have anything else.
There's the horse from Toy Story. Feels kind of like a stop action horse.
True. That was in more than 2. It was like, what's the time period here is probably
in the last 20 years. I would say this feels recent or current. They're going to have big clay eyes on top, totally like sitting on top of their flesh. I bet it's a cow.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can name really a character.
I can't either. I'm aware of a Curse of the Were or something. That's a Wallace and Gromit property.
Yeah, that's right. Wares.
And I'm going to ask you guys to settle on an answer, please.
Can I just say cow?
I think it's going to be a name, not an animal name, but like Edward or Henry or George. I think going with a king's name is not a terrible idea.
All right. Yeah.
How about Simpson? Wallace Simpson is a name in British history. Maybe they were having fun with it, and we could say that. So we could say a animal named Simpson.
Good to me.
Cool.
All right, locked in with Simpson. Certainly a well-known name in animation. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys land on?
I heard, then my heart jumped just for a second. I don't know much about Wallace and Gromit, but I do know that there's like a side character that has his own show, and it's a sheep. And I think this is Shaun the sheep.
Oh, God, there is a Shaun the sheep. And he does have white eyes sitting on top of his hairy flesh.
And he is the correct answer.
God,
it is Shaun the sheep.
Oh, no.
Shaun the sheep is correct. Let's not dwell on it. Don't feel too bad about it. We'll move on to the next one.
I can see him with his stupid little clay body sticking his hands straight out and giving a thumbs up with both hands.
I feel like I've gotten that wrong in something else recently too. Now that you mention it.
Okay, well, remember it now. Shaun the sheep. Shaun the sheep. Let that sink in. Round 5, question 2 comes to us from Siku Benson. Thank you, Siku.
Thank you, Siku.
Siku.
Town hero. Category is daytime TV. A daytime talk show hosted by whom is known for its entertaining spirit tunnel introduction dances for its guests before their interviews.
I have no.
Too late. Whatever you have. Ain't strong enough.
It's the strongest. I have meow meows.
Not after that long. You can't confer to figure out if you have meow meows.
It wasn't conferring. I was trying to put the 2 cat emojis together, but it's fine.
Fine. Meow meow.
She has meow thumbs up. What?
Meow thumbs.
It literally says cat emoji. Like
they're locked in. So guys, you can talk it out.
I mean, dude, I don't watch any daytime TV.
For some reason, Ellen DeGeneres came to mind, possibly. I think I've heard something. There's some kind of... I know she does a lot of crazy stuff with the guests, like dancing and all that, and I feel like I've maybe heard of spirit tunnels in connection with her.
Sure. I'm down to clown.
So. All right, let's go with Ellen.
Guys locked in with Ellen. Gals, what did you say?
I knew this cold because I was just telling my mom about this daytime show yesterday. She didn't know this person hosted their own daytime show. And like the rumors, she's not very good at asking questions because she's not a trained journalist. She's a singer.
Is this Wendy Williams?
No, Wendy's long off air. And Wendy's actually a trained journalist. This is Jennifer Hudson. So like the spirit tunnels are really, really cool because the celebrities will go down like they'll sing like a song related to the guest on the show. And it's super fun. And like that's like kind of the best part because Kesha was just on the show recently and Kesha's like, hey, I was in Dreamgirls. And Jennifer Hudson's like, oh my goodness, you were in Dreamgirls, but doesn't ask her what part we were in or like
no follow-up.
No follow-up, just like amazement. So I'm still rooting for it because the spirit tunnels are very, very fun. So we want Jennifer Hudson.
And your correct answer is Jennifer Hudson. So did you say you were talking to your mom about this? You were telling her
that she's not going if she doesn't get canceled. So yeah.
Correct answer is Jennifer Hudson. Nice job.
Good job, man. You guys, this game is hitting you in all the right spots over here.
Round 5, question 3 comes to us from Ralph Miller. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
And your category is Great Scott, and that Scott is with 1 T.
Hold on just a sec.
Okay. Would anyone like to Sherlock?
Maybe.
I mean, it feels too obvious to Sherlock. You know what I mean?
I guess maybe not.
Okay. I'm going to proceed with the question. No. Hearing no Sherlocks, here is your question. No, it's not a Back to the Future question, but first appearing on TV screens the same year this film came out and lasting 7 seasons was the titular Angus who? And I will paste that in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, lock in.
Megan and Zahkia, you can talk it out.
This feels like 80s boy stuff. So we'll see.
Really.
All right. No, it's not a Back to the Future question, but first appearing on TV screen the same year as Back to the Future. So what's like 85?
Yeah, I think so.
And last thing is titular Angus who. So category Great Scott with 1 T. So it's not Angus toilet paper or Angus paper product. I'm thinking like, what's MacGyver's first name?
I didn't know he even had a first name.
Because like I'm trying to think of TV shows 80s that are just a last name. MacGyver came to mind.
Oh, and it is MacGyver. That's literally Scottish like prefix. MAC.
Oh, that's clever. Because I was about to go into thing about Remington Steele, and I know that's wrong. And MacGyver was on the air for a while, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of other 80s TV shows. It's just last name. There's just one last name, and
it's got the Scottish prefix.
Yeah. Let's just.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, let's just do MacGyver.
Yeah.
Locked in with MacGyver. Arjun and Jonathan, what did you guys lock in with?
A fart.
And they're locked in with poo, and you're correct. No. What did you guys lock in with?
Yep, Angus. First name Angus, Scottish name, TV show. We also said MacGyver.
Hey!
You got it, MacGruber. It is MacGyver.
On a question about the potential Sherlock, I want to know what y'all would say to this. Everybody who's not Arjun, how many letter T's are in Dred Scott?
2.
Like the Dred Scott decision.
2.
I thought it was 2.
I would have said 1.
Mm-hmm. I would have said 1. Arjun, you said you thought 1 too?
No, I thought it was 2.
Those 2.
I've seen that in my law books.
It is definitely 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear to God, for 48 years, I've only seen 1 T on that word.
I feel like you may have stumbled onto another Mandela effect because I was like, yeah, I thought it was only 1 for his name too.
So I think I know why. So I don't think dread is spelled in the way that you think it is. So we say
D-R-E-D.
Yeah.
Right, D-R-E-D, but there's a missing A. So like when we normally think of dread, so you're like getting rid of like, it's D-R-E-D and you think there's a letter missing. So you assume it's the T in Scott, but it's actually the A in dread. In my
memory, visual memory, I see 2 4-letter words.
And there's
I don't know. I
Judge
kind of want to
Dredd.
end
wrong.
Dredd with double D. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I guess there's
That's
Judge Dredd. There's Judge Dredd with 2 Ds versus Dred Scott with 1 D.
Ooh, now there's a future before and after.
Dredd with
The
double.
Judge Dred Scott decision? Yes.
That's awesome. And
yes.
Dredd with double D's is also great.
All right. Well, that rounds out round 5. So Megan and Zahkia still lead with 134 to Arjun and Jonathan's 86.
Man, Arjun, we
brings
got to
it-
get above like 100 at least, man.
Yeah.
We got to do this.
Yeah.
Round 6, question 1 comes to us from Ian Morrison. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ian.
And your category is sports.
Sports.
In 1977, sports writer Woody Page popularized what soft drink-inspired name for the Denver Broncos defensive line?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Megan and Zahkia, you can talk it out.
Ha ha ha. No idea. Okay, so soft drink. What year is this? 1970.
1977.
Okay. So Meg, come with me on a journey here.
I'm going.
The Denver Broncos are orange. All right. So I'm thinking of orange soft drinks. That's like Tang. That's like orange Kool-Aid, but also like Sunny Delight, Sunny D-Line.
Oh.
That's cute, but that's also like
And then I'm like, oh, you're saying orange, like Orangina, like like Sunkissed. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of something because I have no clue. So sometimes when I just start making things up, and I'm like, Sunny Delight, was that a thing in the 70s?
It was in the 80s, like
definitely in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like like I have Sunny Delight and Hawaiian Punch like next to each other in the grocery aisles of my mind, but I have trouble placing it in 1977.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, so soda pop and defensive line. So the defensive line, obviously,
they're gonna make up some points. I feel.
Yeah, yeah. 70s football is definitely not my wheelhouse. Give me like hockey questions, I could probably pull it out, but
yeah, I'm not a historical sports girly at all. I can tell you about like from the 89 Pistons on.
All right, so like Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, Mr. Pibb, Mountain Dew, Mountains, Denver.
Ooh. I don't hate that either. But again, Mountain Dew is so 90s to me.
I know. Me too. I feel like it's been around for a really long time. I like think of like the vintage like 70s looking cans that I've seen before. And I feel like Mountain Dew has been around for longer than we give it credit for.
1 minute.
The Mountain D line. Oh. I don't know. Like
do the do the do the do.
Yeah, I mean, with lack of a better, I don't know.
I mean, I don't hate Mountain Dew line. I don't hate Sunny D line.
Yeah,
like, it's whatever. I feel like they know and they're just like
right.
Look at those faces. They're just smiling at us.
All right. I don't care.
Bubbles make smirks. Randomize. I do not care.
I wish I had the coin flip app on my.
Anyone got a coin?
Oh my! I got a Pellegrino cap. Star, Sunny D, blue, Mountain Dew.
Blue the Dew.
You're going with Star, Sunny D, Blue, Mountain Dew?
Oh, we're
no. I'm flipping my coin here, and it came up blue.
Yeah, so we're going the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain D line, Mountain Dew line.
Yeah, one of those.
Mountain D line.
Mountain D line. Okay.
Mountain D line. Don't worry, I'm not going to announce it yet, Jonathan, but Zahkia, they locked in right away, the other team, and I think you were on the right train of thought with your original instinct by following orange. Arjun and Jonathan, tell them what the correct answer is.
Yeah, and so I didn't actually realize Woody Page, so I know he was on Around the Horn, which just went off the air after many years.
He was very young in the 70s.
Yeah. Must have been, but I think I've heard this before, and it is also a soda, and Denver Broncos do wear orange, so we went with the Orange Crush.
Orange Crush is the correct answer. I thought you were going straight there, Zahkia, right after. You were like, okay,
There's like 3 minutes left. I was like 3 minutes left. You're going to come around to Orange Crush.
It's like orange. It's right there. Sun-kissed. I heard sun-kissed. I was like, they're right there.
Yeah. You were making a beeline for all the orange drinks.
And I was like,
then
oh, no.
I thought you were going to say Orange Crush and you went to Sunny D and then pivoted. And I was like, they were right there.
Oh, man.
Orange Crush. I like that, though.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great nickname. Yeah, Woody Page, I became aware of him in like 1996. The Jaguars were improbably making it all the way to the AFC Championship game, and they had to play the Denver Broncos in the divisional round, and the Broncos were the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And Page was over in the Denver newspaper referring to the Jagwads and basically making really old man puns to try and make Jaguars look bad. And it was so sweet when they absolutely destroyed the Denver Broncos that year to knock them out of the playoffs. It is a core memory in my sporting life.
Orange Crush is correct. Round 6, question 2. Your category is architecture. Question is, not to be confused with a popular search engine, what is the mid-century architectural style which incorporated bright colors and bold geometric shapes like starbursts and boomerangs? It was heavily influenced by car culture and space flight. A famous example is the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. 1 minute. And I'm going to ask both teams to wrap up their discussions and settle on an answer for this architecture question.
Okay, we've settled.
All right. Well, we don't have a good answer. Didn't like anything, honestly. Named browsers, Yahoo, Google. I named search engine. Sorry, we were naming search engines. Then I started naming browsers, which was not helpful at all. Lycos was an old one. Excite. Arjun remembered Ask Jeeves and
Alta Vista
and web crawler and all that stuff.
Alta Vista is actually not a terrible one.
It's not.
It's not. I don't think that's a popular search engine.
We don't know. We didn't know. We're going to go with Bing, the Bing style, and hope
Shout out to Bing Cow.
Yeah.
Okay, they're locked in with Bing. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys lock in with?
Yeah, we had the exact same conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're going through search engines. We're like, oh my goodness, I know exactly what this looks like. And in my head, I just call it Elvis core. It's like that kind of Jetsony, like, it looks very 50s. And I think maybe the LAX airport is also in this style.
That is a famous example of this style. You are correct.
But I don't know what the hell it's called. So Meg is like, oh, yeah. So we know it's not Google, or like we boiled it down to Bing. But she's like, it's California, Alta something. Like, wait, what if it's Alta Vista?
Yeah, and we just went with it.
You know what? And it works. And Vista, yeah. Okay, so we went Alta Vista.
Okay, we've got Alta Vista and Bing submitted for answers, and this is 10 more points to the great state of Nebraska. Your answer is Googie.
Okay.
Spelled like Google, but replace that L with an I. Googie architecture is what we're looking for. So you guys both got all the hints and everything. I saw you guys saying it's probably something close to Google. Arjun, you mentioned something like that. And you were right. I guess just no one had heard of Googie architecture. So now you have.
Cool.
All right. Next question.
Round 6, question 3 comes to us from Peter Goober.
Thank you, Mr. Goober.
Not to be confused with Peter Googie, who's not a person. I just made that up.
But he dresses amazingly.
Your category is geography.
Geography.
There are 2 non-neighboring European countries with their highest mountains having the same name, although they are 2 completely different peaks. One of the countries is an island. And Peter gives us 2 ways to answer this. You can either name both countries, or you can give me the name of the mountain. I will let you decide.
Okay. That's a cool thing.
I did forget to start my stopwatch for this, so I'm giving you 2 minutes from this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And I need both teams to lock in with an answer.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
All right. We're locked in.
We are
Okay.
too. So I guess
Both teams locked in. So Megan and Zahkia, why don't you give me your answer first?
Did we have to?
Don't really feel
You do. Rules of the game.
I don't feel great about it, but Mount Blanc kind of popped into my head, and I don't feel good because normally I can come up with something to reason with things, but I can't. So I'm just going with Mount Blanc.
Okay. Arjun and Jonathan?
We had good discussion. Arjun was talking through islands, and there aren't very many European countries that are islands. You have Malta and Cyprus and Iceland and maybe even another one that we couldn't think of. But there was a potential to just go for Iceland and another Nordic Scandinavian country. I suggested that trying to guess a popular mountain name had a higher probability of being right because you only have to guess one thing and not two. I suggested early Mont Blanc and then Mount Olympus. They both seemed possible. Obviously, White Mountain could very easily be in another country, and Olympus is relative to gods and whatnot. So either one felt good. We ended up going with Mont Blanc.
What the?
Both teams locking in with Mont Blanc. I will tell you the countries first, since you guys both went the mountain route. The countries are Greece and Cyprus.
Is it Olympus?
Olympus.
It is Olympus.
And the correct answer is Mount Olympus. You just picked the wrong one.
Actually,
I mean, honest, it felt good when I said it. But
Cyprus is right next door, but island-wise.
Yeah, I got off track on the Holy Mountain, which I think is something in Greece, but I'm not even sure.
Make it a Cypress Hill. All right. At the end of regular play, going into the gauntlet, the scores are Megan and Zahkia still leading with 134, Arjun and Jonathan with 96. And I will put that in the chat so you guys can calculate your wagers. 134 to 96.
Ignore my first one. I was on the wrong finger.
Give yourself some credit.
Okay. Your category is musical royalty for the gauntlet. Musical royalty.
Our wagers locked in.
Our wagers also locked in.
Great. Your first question in the gauntlet with the theme of musical royalty. Despite selling over 100 million records worldwide and branded merch like caskets, condoms, and comic books printed with their own blood, what theatrical rock band never had a song reach #1 on the Billboard charts?
That's not a word. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure. We're going to lock in.
Okay. We're going to lock in our answer.
Okay. Question 2 in the gauntlet. Which supergroup was fronted by one of history's greatest guitarists and included bassist Jack Bruce and drummer Ginger Baker?
We're going to lock in.
Then let's go with that. Because yeah. All
right. We're going to lock in with that.
Okay.
Both teams are locked for number 2. And your final question in the gauntlet with musical royalty. In what year were Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, and Billy Joel inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Top charting songs that year included Britney's Baby One More Time and Santana's Smooth.
We're going to lock in.
Santana won a ton the same year as Lauryn Hill.
That was like 8th grade for me. But I'm also just thinking, so I'm thinking I have like a really strong Britney Spears connection from I went to like the summer I went to Toronto and this is literally insane. I'm trying to remember what year the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup because I bought that poster at the Hockey Hall of Fame. And so
gonna need you guys to come to an answer shortly.
Your first instinct was 99.
Yeah, it was.
Let's
do it.
Let's do it. 1999.
Okay. Both teams locked.
Wait a minute. I think I know. Oh,
You're
God.
locked.
Wait, no. I think I know the theme. I think I know where the royalty fits.
Okay, well, she's going to tell us now.
All right, we're gonna go through these backwards. So, starting with question 3, in what year were Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, and Billy Joel inducted? Arjun and Jonathan, what year did you guys lock in with?
I felt really strongly. I said initially either 99 or 2000, and Arjun was concerned it might be earlier, and I wouldn't even consider earlier. I knew Smooth was absolutely either 99 or 2000, and if it's 2000, Arjun, then that's on me. I felt like this was 99.
Yeah, no, I would have gone something in the 90s, so 99 is good.
Okay, 99. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys lock in with?
Yep, we did 99.
Okay, both teams locking in with the same answer there. And then which supergroup was fronted by one of history's greatest guitarists and included bassist Jack Bruce and drummer, who is a male, Ginger Baker? Megan and Zahkia, what supergroup did you guys come up with?
I saw history's greatest guitarist and Ginger Baker and automatically just went Cream. And that was the best. And that was, yeah.
Okay,
That was it.
locking in with Cream. Arjun and Jonathan?
Yeah, same here. We had, I figured it was one of Eric Clapton's groups, and we listed Derek and the Dominoes and Yardbirds and Cream. And for some reason, I think both of us had that tingling that Cream was, Ginger Baker was maybe in Cream, so we said Cream.
Okay, and the first but final in the way I'm revealing it, despite selling over 100 million records worldwide and branded merch like caskets, condoms, and comic books printed with blood, what theatrical rock band never had a song reach number 1 on the charts? Let's start with Megan and Zahkia. What did you guys put?
Oh, I think we were taking the royalty a little too literally at first. And, we went through a bunch of different things. And I was thinking like Gwar, they're pretty theatrical. And then I was like, for some reason, I had the band King Crimson stuck in my head. And that's what we ended up going with because I was taking royalty very literally.
Okay, locking in with the Royal King Crimson. And Arjun and Jonathan?
The first thing I said was Gwar. For the same reason you did.
You guys both mentioned Gwar. It cracked me up.
And then I'm like, wait, 100 million records?
Yeah.
Ain't no way Gwar sold 100 million records. We talked about it, and the more we talked, the more I'm like, this has to be Kiss. This has to be Kiss. I don't care what the category is. This has to be Kiss. And so we said Kiss.
Now, Jonathan, what was the category?
Something royalty.
I believe I think I know. I think Zahkia figured it out too from the 1999.
Royalty.
Yeah, it's something Prince related.
Yep. What were your answers, Arjun and Jonathan?
Kiss, Cream, and 99. These are all Prince song words.
That is correct. The correct answers were Kiss, Cream, and 1999, which means Arjun and Jonathan had correct answers for all 3 of your gauntlet questions.
It's about time we got some questions right, Arjun.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down.
Oh, my God.
It's going to come down to wagers. Arjun and Jonathan, what did you guys wager?
All the credit goes to Jonathan. I was wondering whether we should be more conservative, but Jonathan said, let's go all in and make them beat us. So we bet 96.
We bet 96.
Oh, dip.
They bet it all.
Oh, dip.
So that brings them up to 192. Megan and Zahkia, what did you guys bet?
Yeah, I am typically a terrible wagerer. Like, that's my Achilles heel on Learned League. Like, it's always nope. Like, I screw it up 9 times out of 10. And we were kind of conservative, thinking, we did pretty well musically this whole game. And I was like, you know what, we're 38 points apart. I went, let's do 37. So that way, if we both screw up, we win by 1. And that was where we ended up.
Unfortunately, that brought you guys down to 97, which means Arjun and Jonathan are our winners of this episode, 192 to 97. After trailing all game, you guys came
out
from behind and made it. So,
True
nice
deserving champions.
I will say this happened to me on my last Boys versus Girls episode.
Oh, no.
So
The reason that we didn't go with a smaller wager, from my perspective, the reason I was like, you know what, let's just go big, is that the idea was, okay, you want to bet enough to where you can get above them and still beat them if they miss it and lose their points. And there was no number that accomplished that for us. If we wagered high enough to get above them, it would put us below 75, which was where they would land if they were conservative. So, or if they were trying to lock us out. That's why I was like, yeah, screw it. All the math doesn't matter. Let's go for it.
The math stresses me out.
If you had a smaller lead, I bet we would have lost.
I think if I would have even asked the questions in a different order, they may have gotten them all, because you guys were so focused on the immediate answer for each question being royalty instead of the meta puzzle. But
yeah,
I mean, I tried to include some musical royalty in the questions as well. We had Paul McCartney and Eric Clapton. And so, you know.
Yeah, that was great. That was a cool finish.
Oh.
Isn't it, Zahkia, isn't it a bad feeling where you lock in something to the best of your ability and then you figure out why it doesn't work after, and then you're stuck with that answer for the rest of the time?
I mean, like, yes, but it's even worse when it's the third question of the gauntlet, because 1999 was right. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that means the first one is wrong. Yeah.
Oh, all right, guys.
Regardless, you guys led all game. That was a phenomenal game.
Yeah, y'all played great.
Meg, you're a great partner. Shout out to you.
Right back at you.
Absolutely. Hey, before we go, we like to get everybody a chance to do shout outs and promote causes that they care about. Arjun, you're today's winner. We're going to start with you.
Sure. Yeah. So my cause would just be, learning is fun. It's always great to, I love doing this trivia stuff kind of as a little bit of a break and a mental break from my other work as a trial attorney, which can be kind of intense at times. So, I enjoy this as an escape, and, I have a great time on this podcast and with all of you guys. So thanks, everybody. And learning's fun.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. All right, Meg, your turn.
This is my first, Trivial Warfare, so this was super fun. Thank you guys for having me. I always harken back to two things. One, like, adopt, don't shop. Like, just get yourself a nice shelter pet. There's so many out there. And, to pull a little Bob Barker in here, don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Amen. Please. We don't need bands of roving dogs gathering together in neighborhoods. So, fully agree. Outstanding. Great first time from you, Meg. Well done.
Thanks. Yeah. That was fun.
Absolutely. And Arjun, it is always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. That is going to wrap us up. So for Arjun, for Meg, for Zahkia and Nikki, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 534 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's a war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
I was late because I was trying to change the recording location. In Zoom, I wanted to take our files and put them online directly because I'm trying to do a test with Joel. And now he hears this, so it's all ruined. Joel, I'm going to do this test in the next 4 episodes, not the first 6, like I said. He's trying to convince me to do everybody's files automatically upload to the cloud instead of come to my computer. He says that'll sound better. I don't know that I trust that.
What's the difference in the export? If it goes to the cloud to your computer, why would it?
Apparently, if it's cloud-based, it records on each of your own computers and goes to the cloud. Whereas if it's not, then it's recording you on my computer.
Oh, okay.
Skype has been doing that for me for 10 years. Everybody's voice has always been recorded from my computer. I don't think there's a meaningful difference. He's convinced there is, so we're trying to do a blind test so that he can pick out the one that he thinks sounds better.
You're making him do a blind
because he's
test?
trying to convince me to make a change, and I want evidence.
It's a double blind. It's not a double blind, but yeah, this is an A/B test.
That's exactly right.
I love
you
this.
think it sounds better? Prove it. I'll switch. If it's better, I'll switch.
You're in the right group. We love a skeptic.
Joel and Nick are so good as people. I love them both. But they try and convince me to do things, and I am a skeptic, and they are not. And they are not. They are believers, and I am not.
All right, devil's advocate, though. Always trust your editor.
I mean, I used to be my editor.
Yeah, and do you trust you? Yes.
Yes, I do. Joel's getting a big kick out of this conversation, by the way, so that's nice.
So
let her clear her throat.
Na 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 na. I just couldn't be bothered to put it in a glass. I was just like, I'll just drink it out of the bottle. I don't care.
That's such a vibe. That is the character like thing. You describe a character. You walk up, she's holding her bottle of San Pellegrino by the neck and she's drinking it. Like, I love that.